What's up, Northwood?
Welcome to Northwood Youth Live. It's Wednesday. We're glad you're here. Dude, we're both wearing shorts today.
We are in black shorts.
I know. That's
but
so
I'm not
cool.
wearing a button down.
That's okay. You're not that cool. Hey, it's a beautiful day, and we hope you're actually inside watching, or maybe you're outside on your phone and you're tuning in. I hope you are. And hey, it's not too late to shoot a text, send a message, send the link to one of your friends. Say, hey, come check out Youth Group online. It's awesome, and you don't want to miss it. Absolutely, absolutely. So, hey, from wherever you're tuning in, we're glad you're here. If you recently moved out of state and you're tuning in, Gavin and Nathan, shout out to you too.
Even better.
And hey, to all of our first-time viewers and anyone who's been in it from the very beginning, I don't even know what week it is.
10, 11?
37, I'm not sure.
Could
it
be
feels
50.
like a
You
long
never
time.
know.
That's all right. That's all right.
It could be 40, just like you turned 40.
I did turn 40.
Hey, late birthday, happy birthday to John. So if you're on the chat, let him know happy birthday.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it enough the last 2 weeks.
No, he hasn't.
Hey, we want to give some stuff away. We've got all these shirts collecting in our office, so we're gonna give some shirts away. We're actually gonna give stuff away to multiple people.
We are.
All right, so we got some Northwood shirts here. We got a Mission to Mexico shirt. We've got the Northwood Supreme ripoff long sleeve, and so make sure that you're active in the chat, and Liz might pick your name, and you can win these shirts. We've also got. We're going to put together like a whole CIY, that stands for Christ in Youth, prize package. We've got shirts. This is basically our camp event that we're going to, Mix and Move for middle school and high school. And so we've got shirts, and we've got multiple sizes you could choose from. You could decorate your room with these cool pennants. I don't even know if they know what pennants are.
They even have holes in them, so
they're
you can
already pre-holed. Yeah,
and so you can put string or something.
And pop sockets because you always need an extra one.
Yeah,
always
be able to hold your phone.
Absolutely, absolutely. So make sure you're active so we can give this stuff away to you.
That way we don't have it in our office.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, one of the cool things that we do is we always try to get someone new, and so this week. A couple weeks ago, we had Barry and we had Connor on.
Yeah, that was cool.
This week, we have a special guest, and it's going to be awesome. He is our worship leader. He is an amazing guy. His name is Adam, and you'll hear from him later.
Yeah, I think we might even play a game with him later.
Possibly.
Before he goes. Yeah, I think
he might get a little messy.
Yeah, we like to get our guests, we want them to get the full youth ministry experience.
Yes, we just want them to not only see it, but wear it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So look forward to that. Okay, right now, here's what we need you to do. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're watching, what are you doing? Why are you sitting down?
I don't know.
Okay, the game's called Sit Down If, but you're supposed to start standing.
Oh, we're supposed to stand?
Okay,
my bad.
Man, Joe, and I'm the dad, and you're the one with the cheesy jokes.
It says sit down. Oh.
Sit down if.
There's a big
All right, we're going to
if
play a
there.
little game called Sit Down If, Quarantine Edition. So you're going to start by standing up, and we're going to put some prompts up on the screen. And if you identify with that, if you've done that during the quarantine, then you need to sit down. And you can let us know by just writing sit, or you can continue to type in stand so we know that you're standing. And whoever is left at the end, you'll get something. I don't know what it is. You'll probably get a free shirt. We've got a whole bunch of coffee in our office that we could give away to you too. Adam is telling me right now he wants some coffee. We'll see how good the message is. Anyway, all right, so here we go. We're going to play Sit Down If, so everybody start standing. Oh, if you've learned a TikTok dance, if you learned a new TikTok dance, then wherever you are, you need to sit down. I have not learned a TikTok dance.
I haven't even
Has the green bean made it to
TikTok yet?
Yeah, I don't know. Has that made it to TikTok? I don't think it has.
I don't think so. That was a good one.
Thank you. I've been practicing. All right. Sit down if your family made banana bread. Liz sat down because she's already made us multiple loaves of banana bread.
Not even her family, she did.
Yes. If you've been practicing all those baking techniques. All right. I don't know if you're still standing, but sit down.
Let us know.
Oh, you did an Instagram Ask Me. I'm so not cool, I don't even know what that is.
I don't either, and I'm younger than you.
Liz does, apparently, so that's why it's in there.
So that's
all right.
Cool.
But if you did that, sit down, sorry, you're out.
Yeah. Next one.
Sit down if you've talked to your dog like a human. I've hung out with Liz enough to know that she does that Anyway, even before quarantine,
She
there
does
is.
that on video. It's amazing.
It's true. It's true. All right, sit down. If you went 3 full days without showering.
I'm not gonna
dude.
say whether I did or not.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be
that
gross.
just wiped out all the middle schoolers. Sorry,
Yeah.
middle school boys, but I've been at camp with you before. Yeah, I know.
High schoolers too sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. Unless they're starting to
Mission Mexico definitely.
absolutely.
Next
All
one.
right, if you did a puzzle,
And completed it.
yeah, let's just throw that completed in there because I bet some of you started a puzzle and you have not finished it. Val was doing this Where's Waldo puzzle thing
that's
we
rough.
started, and all the pieces look identical, and it's 3,000, and it could take up the whole dining room table.
Ooh,
Terrible.
that's rough.
But if you did a puzzle, you're done.
Adam's still standing.
Sit down if you started and completed a video game. If you're that oh, we lost Joe. Joe, what game did you start and complete?
GTA.
GTA, nice. All right, well, obviously I'm not a gamer. Lots of board games, you sunk my battleship, stuff like that. All right, sit down if you didn't go outside for 2 full days and you're pasty white. All right, hey, get sun's out, guns out, get a tan. All right, I don't know, is anybody still standing at this point? I wonder. We've got a couple more, let's see. Adam is still standing, just so you know. All right, sit down. If you slept in past noon. Man, I wish I could sleep in past noon, y'all. I know that if Connor is watching, he's done at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
He sleeps till 3.
probably. All right,
I'm gonna stand
sit
back
down if you've been grounded. I don't know how you got grounded in quarantine when that's
When you're
already
stuck at the house.
the world got grounded. But if you've been grounded, I'm sorry for you. What could you even keep them from doing at this point?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, sorry you don't get to shower. I don't know.
And you
All
didn't shower for 3 days. Okay, now, do we have one more?
I think so. Sit down if you lost a board game.
Actually lost it? Or
Yeah, if you
lost
can't
in the
find it,
game?
or either way. If you can't find it, you really wanted to play Risk because you had so much time on your hands, or if you
That was my brother.
lost in Guess Who, or something like that.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
that sucks.
I thought about growing out the cul-de-sac and shaving my beard. I could look like the guy from Guess Who.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
All right, sit down
Let's
if
go to the next one.
you watched a Marvel movie.
I'm down
I'm
again.
done.
If I were to be sitting still, I'd be down.
I'm
But
out.
You didn't watch any Marvel movies?
Adam hasn't done anything, apparently. All right, Joe, you're going to have to finish out this
Bro.
game.
Okay. Sit down if you have cut your own hair. I know John did.
I'm out. Yeah, I
So
cut my
he's-
own hair every
He's
few
sitting
days.
down again.
Is anybody left? Is anybody left standing?
Let us know in the chat.
Let's see if you beat Adam.
Yeah.
All right, that was
Adam,
sit down
Adam did
if.
nothing this entire quarantine, apparently. So, or at least nothing cool. So,
All right, well, we're going
all
to be right back with Adam after this short video.
What's up, kids? Glad to be with you guys tonight. I just got word that my son Tyler was embarrassed that I was talking. He was afraid I might say something that would specifically embarrass him. I would never obviously do that to my son, although I'm sure he had to sit down on the if you haven't taken a shower for 3 days. That would have been the end of his game. Anyway, I'm here to talk to the rest of you guys tonight as well, and I am very glad to have that opportunity. So I just wanted to share with you to start a story that I had. I went to Walmart last week, and it was a good trip to Walmart. It wasn't like one of those, healthy, get all the necessary groceries kind of trips. It was like only the essentials. It was like Doritos and popcorn and like that movie theater butter stuff that's not really butter at all, but it's awesome. and I got some beef jerky and some Dr. Pepper. It was set. I was ready to go. Everything was good. So I'm heading out to my car, and on the way out there, on the ground, I see a $20 bill. So instantly, I have many things run through my mind. I feel like just one thought after another begins to flood through my mind. First thought is, you know what, just leave it. The person who dropped it might be right around here looking for it. I'll just leave it. Thought number two, forget thought number one. Pick up the money God just dropped, like a magical 20 spot from heaven right in front of my face. Don't be an idiot, pick up the money, right? Thought number three, take it inside and give it to the manager. Let him deal with it. Maybe somebody will come back asking for the money. Manager can give them the money. And thought four, wait a second, what if the manager isn't trustworthy? Can I really trust to give him the money, that he's going to hold on to the cash and be honest to give it to the person who comes in to claim it? I mean, if he's just going to pocket it, I might as well just pocket it. Back to thought two, right? Basically, my brain was just having an argument with itself. I wasn't exactly sure what to do. Felt like there were a million options. I'm sure many of you at this point have different opinions on what the right thing to do in that very situation would be. The point is that it can be difficult to figure out what the right thing is to do sometimes. It's not always super obvious and easy to see. Doing the right thing is not always easy. So tonight we're going to spend a few minutes deciphering the dilemma of what you do when you don't necessarily know what is right or what is wrong. Now, like I said, it really would be nice if doing the right thing was always easy and obvious. But we know that's not the case. Oftentimes, it's very complicated. There can be many situations in life that are confusing as to what is right or wrong. Let me give you a few examples that we may say are sometimes hard to figure out what the right thing is to do. Let's say you're dating somebody. There's somebody else that you're just friends with, but you kind of like to flirt with them a little bit. And, you say to yourself, I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything about it. We're just kind of talking and having a good time. And, that's all. I'm not really doing anything wrong, right? Or are you? Well, all right, what about this? What if you've got a teammate? He's going around and he's kind of bad-mouthing the coach because he got benched the other day. He doesn't really understand why. He's a little bit blind to it. You happen to know coach benched him specifically because he was slacking on defense. Do you tell your friend that he was slacking on defense? I mean, it might hurt their feelings a little. Not always fun to know you sucked on defense last night. But on the other hand, it would also give them the opportunity to say, all right, I need to get better at that. I need to change my work ethic. I need to work a little harder and maybe adjust and fix the problem. Or do you need to tell him? Maybe if you don't tell him, you get more playing time because they don't fix their defensive game, so you get to play the minutes instead. What's right? What's wrong in that situation? Maybe it's as simple as this. Maybe you've got a friend who's doing something that's just kind of bothering you. They're irritating you, and you're just not sure if you should say something to them about it. Really, at this point, you're starting to wonder, is this even really their issue, or is it my issue? Am I going to just come off like a jerk if I even bring this up to them, or is this truly something they need to hear about in their life and change? See, it's often difficult to know what the right thing is to do. And then sometimes, even when we do know what the right thing is to do, it's still not easy to do it, because sometimes doing the right thing costs us something. It cost me $20 to take that money back to the manager, let him deal with that moral quandary instead of me. Are you struggling with potential cost in your own life from having to choose to do the right thing? Is there a situation where you know you should be honest? Maybe you should fess up to something with your parents, but you're a little nervous to do that because if you fess up to it, you might lose your phone. Like maybe forever, depending on how bad this thing is you have to fess up to. Maybe there's a relationship that you just know you shouldn't be in. It's not healthy anymore, and you don't think it's right, but at the same time, if you break up, that you're just going to be single and you're going to feel alone, and you might even hurt the other person if you break it off with them. What about this scenario? When you guys get to go back to school eventually, you're getting ready to take a test, and one of your friends, was up late, they didn't get a chance to study, whatever the circumstances were, they're not really prepared for the test, and they ask if they can have a look at your test and maybe get some answers off of it. You don't really want to turn your friend down. You don't really necessarily want to take that social cost of telling them, you should have studied. But sometimes doing the right thing costs us something. So you see what I mean? Even though knowing what is right, or even though knowing what to do in a situation, it doesn't make it easy all the time. Sometimes it's still extremely complicated, because when we follow through with what we know is right, it can at times cost us something in our own lives. So with all that in mind, I want to take a look back at Joseph. Okay, let's pick back up with Joseph. You guys have been looking at his story for the last couple weeks, and it certainly is a crazy story. If you've missed the last couple weeks, you got to know that when I say Joseph's story is a crazy story, I'm talking like Joseph was attacked and beaten by his brothers, and they stole his dope jacket from him, and then they sold him into slavery. Like, it's that kind of crazy. Joseph had it rough for a little while. But the part of the story that I want to look at this week, it ought to hopefully give us a little perspective when it comes to figuring out what's right and wrong in a situation, and then how to follow through. So when we left Joseph last week, he had been sold into slavery, and he was now finding himself in a new situation, a new home. So let's pick up with what happens going forward from there. We're told that Joseph, when he was sold in slavery, was placed underneath an officer of Pharaoh. Now, Pharaoh is like everything. He's like the emperor, the king, and the president all rolled into one. He's big time. Whatever he says goes. Pharaoh is it. And Joseph is placed under a close officer of Pharaoh. So you can see how there might be a little bit of stress to be the servant of somebody with so much power. There's a lot at stake. But we're told that when he was going through all of this, in fact, last week the author was very quick to point out that as Joseph went through all this, God was with him. Whatever it was that Joseph was encountering, God was there with him, and that was the case in this situation as well. Potiphar was the name of Joseph's master. Potiphar was the official of Pharaoh. And so Potiphar actually became quite fond of Joseph, because Joseph had found favor in the eyes of the Lord. And so everything he did went great. And this pleased Joseph's master. And as that went on, Potiphar was then happy that everything he was handing over to Joseph was thriving, and things seemed to be going great. But let's take a look here at the story in Genesis 39. I want to just read a few verses. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. So Potiphar left everything he had in Joseph's care. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. I'm going to stop there, and we'll pick up in just a minute going forward. So you see, things really were turning out pretty good for Joseph. Things had certainly been rough for a minute there, having been beaten by his brothers and his clothes stolen and sold into slavery. Luckily, he was sold into a place that ended up being a pretty good situation. Finding favor in the eyes of Potiphar was really good for him. So it seemed like after all this, things were finally going to work out for Joseph. But then things kind of took a weird turn. let's look at the next 2 verses here. So it continues by saying, "Now Joseph was well built and handsome. And after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, 'Come to bed with me.'" So we learned a couple things in these verses here. First, we learned that Joseph was kind of a smoke show, right? The Bible says that his body was well built and his face was handsome. The dude looked good. And Potiphar's wife noticed. This is the second thing the verse tells us. She's fully aware that Joseph is a smoke show, and she is trying to do something about it. So, as you can see, things begin to get quite complicated for Joseph now. To add to the matter, you have to understand that not only is Joseph a servant of Potiphar and subject to anything that Potiphar might want him to do, but because of his servanthood to Potiphar, he's also subject to Potiphar's wife and anything that she asks him to do. So if he disobeys an order from Potiphar's wife, he faces the possibility of being kicked out of this house, which really has become a pretty good situation for him, or even potentially facing death. On the other hand, if he does do what Potiphar's wife is asking for, he is certainly going to face the wrath of an enraged master. But let's check out what the next couple of verses say here. Because even though Joseph is not faced with an easy decision, he does make one. It continues, but he refused. So he tells Potiphar's wife, no. He refused. "With me in charge," he told her, "my master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns, he has entrusted to my care." And then it continues on. "No one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" So, you see, basically, out of respect for Potiphar, and actually I think even more so out of respect for his God, Joseph just says, "Nope, I'm not going to do what you're asking. I'm not going to sleep with you. I'm going to just choose to do what I know is right in God's eyes." Now, this had to be tough because this shows that Joseph was being selfless in his decision. Making the decision to do the right thing was certainly a risk of cost for Joseph. To say to his master's wife, "I will not do what you say," it risked everything for him. But he decided he would do what was right in spite of the cost, and he would do what pleased God. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that things are going to always turn out great if you do the right thing, because sometimes they don't. In fact, sometimes they even get worse. In fact, they got worse for Joseph. When he refused to sleep with Potiphar's wife, this made her angry, and so she accused Joseph of rape. Potiphar believed his wife, as I'm sure most husbands would, and threw Joseph in prison. So Joseph is faced with this horrible dilemma of whether or not to sleep with his master's wife. Either way, he's facing dire consequences. He chooses to do the right thing, and what happens? He gets thrown into prison, being accused of being a rapist. Not so great. And even though things were so terrible as far as his circumstance, he just continued to do what he knew was right. And here's the important thing I think that we can get from this tonight. Even though the cost for Joseph was great, in fact, it was his freedom, he gained something else in this moment, in these moments as the story unfolded, that I think were extremely valuable. And what that is that he gained is integrity. I don't know if this is a word you're real familiar with, if you've heard it before, but integrity is just making the right decision regardless of the outcome and regardless of who's going to see it. Joseph certainly had integrity. He chose to do what was right in spite of what may happen to him. See, we don't always get to decide how things are going to play out. Sometimes things are going to play out in a fashion that's hard and frustrating. But even though we don't always have the ability to affect how things are going to play out, we do always have the ability to act with integrity. So tonight, I just want to challenge each one of you to live this week with great integrity. Do your best to decipher what is right in each situation, and then do it, even if it costs you something. Choose to do the right thing in all situations, and then watch how God might work in your life. Would you guys pray with me? Lord, thank you for your word. Thank you for stories that teach us, for stories that show us how we ought to respond. And Lord, when we look at stories like we have tonight where doing the right thing doesn't always result in great things for us, we ask that you would give us strength and self-discipline to do what's right anyway. Give us all great integrity this week as we go forward. Lord, help us to treat each other with love and grace in a way that's pleasing to you. We love you and we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks, Adam.
You bet.
I appreciate that word. That's powerful. I loved your honesty in letting everybody know that, hey, there's a serious social cost.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing when you're in middle school and high school. You know it. When something is going to cost you a social relationship to do the right thing, man,
yeah,
it just makes things complicated, right? Which is why we've been talking about the big picture.
Yep.
And Joseph seems to, even though maybe he can't see the big picture, I wonder, he knew that it was not only a sin against Potiphar, but a sin against God.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like he is thinking, hey, no, there's way more to it than just this situation. There is a bigger picture. And so that's really what we're inviting you to do, is to continue to remember that there is more going on than just what is right in front of you.
Absolutely.
And so, like with Joseph, it could be worth the cost.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
You bet. Thank
Love
you.
having you here. Want to remind you that if you haven't already started the reading plans, that you totally can. They're on the YouVersion app or Bible.com if you don't have a phone. Check it out. It's not too late. We've still got a couple more weeks after this that we're going to be looking at Joseph's life, and you have plenty of time to read through, and it's just a great way for you to constantly to remind you each day, hey, there's a bigger picture, and God is involved, and God is constantly at work in your life. If you're willing to look for it, you'll see it. So make sure that you do that. All right, hey, we promised you a game. We promised that we would. The next time you see Adam's face, or maybe by the end, it's going to look a little bit different. It might be a little bit messy. So we're going to come right back with a game, and before we do that, we wanted to share with you just something a little fun, a little version of rock, paper, scissors that you could play at home.
So great. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that right now. We are going to do rock, paper, scissors, though. And it's going to be amazing. Scissors. Maybe if I slow down my words, it'll be a little bit easier to understand. Let's try that again. So we're going to play rock, paper, scissors, and it's going to be amazing. What's going to happen is if they lose, they're going to get something on their plate. And as you can see, we got an assortment of different things. And so what they're going to do is they're going to put blindfolds on, they're going to play rock, paper, scissors, and then the person who loses, like I said, gets to be smashed in the face with whatever on their plate. Y'all got it?
Great.
Y'all get it?
Got it.
Sweet. All right, blindfolds on, please. And figure out who goes first. Just kidding. We're just going to go straight into it. All right, here we go. We're going to go. I'm going to count it out. Say 1, 2, unless. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm going to go.
3 or?
I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, shoot. When I say shoot, that's when you're going to actually go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Looks like Adam lost. So the first thing that we're going to do is, I think that looks good. That's going to be some good stuff right there. Adam, I need you to bring your face down.
Oh, this happens each time?
Yeah, each time. It's going to be amazing. So I need you to...
I'm going to lose every time, I have a feeling.
You're really tall.
I'm onto this game
You're really tall. You're really tall. So I need you to come down a little bit farther. There we go. That works. Can you see that? Perfect. Doesn't that just feel amazing? Yeah, let's get it all over the beard. Perfect. Don't breathe in. That's not going to taste good. All right.
It does taste good.
Oh, does it? What is it? All right, we're gonna go 1, 2. You got to come back in the frame. Sorry. There we go. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. It looks like you lost again. Sorry, bro.
No way. No way.
All right, this is gonna be even better.
I did not see that coming.
Ooh.
Okay, that sounds
delightful. All right, here we go. Face down. Fantastic. Did that just feel amazing in your nose? All right.
ranch.
Ready? Here we go. Back in the frame. There we go. Perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Perfect. Looks like Liz lost this time.
Oh, sweet.
Here we go. We're going to go, yeah, we'll go with this. There we go. All right, you ready? Put your face down. Here we go. Fantastic. Doesn't that just feel amazing? All right, you ready? We're going to go. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Sorry, bro.
Dang.
All right, we're going to go, and we got.
Scissors so much.
That looks that. Can we just get a picture of that? Here we go. All right, there it is. Perfect. All right, next one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, sorry, bro. We got this one. Here we go.
I'm going to watch this rebroadcast. You better not be lying.
Did I get you with your mouth open? Good. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, sorry, Liz. Here we go. We got this one. That's gonna taste good. Here we go. Put your face down. With the teeth. Oh, that's gross. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, we got a little bit more in here. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you. There you go. We got some wonderful things that are going to make your face feel even better. Just some wonderfulness. All right, you ready? Here we go. Up. That's amazing. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. I don't know what just happened there. We're going to redo that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Sorry. Liz, you lost this time. We got some of this. We got one more round right after this, and then we're done. Yeah, that's gonna taste good. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. All right, ready? We're gonna go one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right. I need both y'all to get your faces ready. That was a tie. Hold on. All right, here we go. Ready? Faces ready? Okay. That is extreme rock, paper, scissors, Young Life style. Young Life style? No, Northwood style. What am I talking about? Hey, I want you all to say thank you to Adam for joining us tonight and his wonderfully white face. And just a couple announcements that we have that we just got. Sorry, Barb. We thought we had stuff. We have a couple announcements before we leave and we let you go. The first thing is right behind my head, you see Mix. Oh, it's dripping on my shirt. That's amazing.
Okay, you can go.
For
I don't
middle
want any
school?
on me.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Mix for middle school, Move for high school. You want to talk about that
those are
real quick?
coming up. Those are coming up in July. We're keeping, don't even think about it, Liz. We're keeping it to the weeks we've already asked you to save. We're going to do Thursday through Saturday, 2 separate weekends. July 9th through the 11th for middle school, and July 30th through August 1st for high school. It'll be here at Northwood. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff in the works for you, so you don't want to miss it.
It's going to be fantastic.
Register right now with your $50 deposit. Drop it off the church, mail it, paper airplane, pigeons.
However you want
however
to do
you
it.
get it here, RC car.
Owls, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, whatever you need to do, get it here. We also want to talk to you about small groups.
We do.
Small groups are happening. We'll go to small groups. You met with your small group
We just
today,
had our
yeah?
small group. It was awesome. So we just met and we played some football, threw some football, just had a great time, talked with kids. And what we're going to be doing is some of y'all, because most of your leaders are here, we're going to try to get you in person. It's going to be awesome. We're still staying the 6. This is obviously 6 feet apart, and we're gonna
6 inches.
Yeah. We're sticking with. We're cleaning up after and making it so it's all following the guidelines of the government. So just so y'all know. Next thing is make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Absolutely. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do
You
that.
want to
Always
do that. Come on, we're
do
trying
that.
to advertise.
I don't know what I was trying to say. Also, if you didn't see already, we've got a new video uploaded on our channel, so make sure that you check that out when you're done here.
Maybe
and
a destruction of a
join us tomorrow at 7. It's going to be worship night live from the sanctuary. Adam and I will be here. Hopefully he'll clean up before then. And then Sunday worship at 10 o'clock. Don't miss that. Be sure to like this video, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to get out of here before I get attacked. So,
Yeah.
Wait. No,
do we
we've
have
got
one
to
more?
give something away. What
We
are
do.
doing? We got
What are we doing?
to give shirts away. We've got to give shirts away. So our winners are Cassidy and Hunter. And JJ. Cassidy, Hunter, JJ, we've got stuff for you. So make sure you put your shirt size in the chat, and we'll make sure we get you the right thing. All right, Now we out. Peace.
Peace.